And as police are put in the spotlight and calls for accountability strengthen, it's not just members of our Black community who feel a sense of distrust with law enforcement.
Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez tonight goes 360 on the relationship between the Denver Police Department and the Latino community.
It's a conversation decades in the making. For some, the thought of not calling police when police are needed may be hard to grasp, while for others, it's a common decision based on several factors ingrained over generations. So let's go 360 on the relationship between Denver police and the Latino community they serve. One mother who lost her son after he was shot and killed by Denver police officers views his death as unnecessary and irresponsible. A local Latino advocacy organization insists the Latino community is unique and deserves a unique approach to policing. Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin says he knows how to fix what many consider a broken relationship. Even Latino members who choose to wear the badge and make community policing would go a long way in rebuilding trust. 6 years ago, April Sanchez saw on the news that there had been an officer-involved shooting. After receiving calls from family, she worried for her son, Ryan Ronquillo.
And I just collapsed and tried calling my son's phone, and he wasn't answering.
Ryan was driving in a stolen car and was on his way to a funeral. Police had a warrant for his arrest.
They followed him around all day, and there was many a times they could have arrested him peacefully. They saw him pulled over on the side of the road. They saw him going to 7-Eleven, come back out with a pop.
Denver police decided to close in on Ryan while he was in a parking lot. His mother says he was beaten by officers before being able to surrender. When Ryan tried to flee, officers say they could have been hit and made the decision to fire into the car. The shooting was later deemed justified.
His family was left to bury him, and we'll never forget what they did.
The death of her son at the hands of those sworn to protect only increased her distrust in law enforcement and their relationship with the Latino community.
They go around and stop young kids, and they just harass them. Kills me every day.
For the Colorado Latino Leadership Advocacy and Research Organization, or CLARO, it's distrust that leads many Latinos to avoid the numbers 911.
It's risky if you're not sure what they're going to do when they get there. It's risky if you're not sure whether they're going to cooperate with ICE. Trust has to be earned, and that's earned on a case-by-case basis in the neighborhoods where Latinos live.
Cortez suggests police take a different approach and customize their enforcement based on the specific services neighborhoods need.
If the agenda of the police in each neighborhood is set by talking to folks in the neighborhood, I think that could go a long way toward earning the trust.
Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin knows there's a lot of work to do.
We need to redouble our efforts, not only with the Latino community, but with all of our community.
One of the ways is by increasing the diversity within the police department itself. The most recent graduating class of officers was 36% Latino.
We must have a police department that represents the community that we serve. And myself, as a Latino that grew up in North Denver to a single parent and graduated from North High School, I still use that as my lens, as my perspective on how we can help people of color and ensure that we have a diverse representation within the police department.
On the shooting of Ryan Ronquillo, Chief Pazin says his death did result in policy changes.
Since then, we have enacted a very strong and progressive use of force policy, including prohibiting shooting at moving vehicles.
Also making it clear that DPD does not cooperate with ICE, and police should not be asking questions about citizenship.
We have done a lot of work, and we need to do more work.
Officer Raul Silvas is on the front lines of that work and engagement in many lower-income neighborhoods.
With everything that's been happening lately in across the country, you know, I think it's needed that they can depend on us and you know, have that relationship.
Silvas was born and raised in the same neighborhoods where he's now giving back.
Being Latino and helping them out, I think there's a connection. And one of the things is, I grew up in Southwest. I grew up here, and being able to relate and have the same commonalities growing up. I think that helps.
As Denver police engage in tough conversations about race relations, there is hope and, yes, hesitancy that change is on the way. Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
So how do we build or rebuild trust among minorities in the community and those who swear to protect and serve? We'd love to hear from you on this one. Please email us 360@thedenverchannel.com is the address, or join the conversation on the Denver 7 Facebook and Twitter pages.